Every month, your business relies on a stack of rented software. You pay for the user seats, you pay for the storage, and you pay with your privacy. Look at standard enterprise tools. $20 a user for Google Workspace, another $15 for Notion, $15 more for Slack. Multiply that across a small team over a year, and you are bleeding thousands of dollars in operating expenses. But the cash is only half the cost. To use these platforms, you actively route your company's internal communications and proprietary data through vendor servers, feeding their telemetry algorithms. Taking control of your digital infrastructure requires a specific trade. You have to give up the frictionless onboarding of the cloud and take on the responsibility of managing your own hardware. Your roadmap for making that trade is a GitHub repository called Awesome Self-Hosted. It is the definitive master directory for deploying your own personal cloud. The scale of this project is massive. With over 292,000 stars and 13,000 forks, it is backed by an army of developers actively maintaining the infrastructure. They have logged nearly 7,000 commits, organizing thousands of open-source alternatives into over 50 specific software categories. The challenge isn't finding an alternative, it's deciding which ones are actually worth the technical overhead required to run them. Installing software just because it is free will quickly turn into a part-time job fixing broken containers. Navigating this directory safely requires matching the deployment effort against the actual impact on your daily workflow. The repository relies on automated bots running continuous integration scripts to verify every single link and build the markdown files. This constant automated input ensures the directory stays flawlessly maintained. You won't waste time troubleshooting dead links or trying to deploy outdated, unsupported architectures. The community also enforces strict anti-feature guidelines. They actively ban software that includes forced telemetry, hides core features behind paywalls, or uses closed source code. Upholding these strict rules comes with a compromise. Guaranteeing absolute data sovereignty usually means sacrificing the highly polished, frictionless user interfaces you get with venture-backed proprietary tools. Relying on this rigidly curated, community-vetted list significantly reduces your exposure to malicious code compared to deploying random applications you stumble across in a GitHub search. For analytics, the setup is often as simple as pulling a Docker image for Plausible or Umami and pointing it directly at your website. This chart plots analytics into the medium-effort, high-impact quadrant. A Docker setup yields a GDPR-compliant private dashboard. The trade-off is infrastructure ownership. You must manually scale the database during traffic spikes. Extending this to a CRM removes per-user fees, wiping out primary software overhead. By converting those recurring licensing fees into a small utility bill for server power, you're making a financial gain, but you are also shifting the entire burden of disaster recovery from a vendor's support team to your own hands. If you want to replace OpenAI's API, you can pull down tools like Local AI or Ollama and run large language models directly on your own hardware. The privacy benefit here is absolute. You gain limitless generative AI capabilities where your proprietary prompts and sensitive business data never leave the local network. This privacy requires steep capital expenditure. You need premium GPUs upfront and pay ongoing power consumption costs. Hosting large language models in-house makes financial sense only if the value of keeping your data strictly private outweighs the heavy upfront cost of the hardware. Moving a team away from Slack involves deploying a self-hosted server like Rocket Chat or Matrix Synapse. Doing this grants your organization total control over chat retention policies, and it completely eliminates per-user licensing fees. This flowchart tracks the routing for a single push notification. Managing database replication for real-time messaging presents extreme technical difficulty for a solo admin. You must maintain reliable mobile gateways, or your remote teams won't receive critical messages on time. Communication stacks demand dedicated, daily administrative hours. For small teams, this makes real-time chat the highest risk category to host yourself. This is the self-hosting capability map. It routes you to specific software stacks based entirely on your technical skills and how much IT burden you are willing to tolerate. The Homelab hobbyist path focuses on high-reward tools. Deploying media servers like Jellyfin or network-wide ad blockers like Pi-hole delivers immediate quality-of-life improvements. The cost for the hobbyist is time. You will spend your weekends learning command line tools and troubleshooting Docker container configurations. The Frugal Freelancer path targets business operations. Running your own CRM and project management software maximizes your operating expense savings. Because you are now acting as your own IT department, this path strictly requires implementing an ironclad 3-2-1 backup strategy to protect your client data. The extreme path belongs to the privacy purist. This means hosting the complete stack, right down to the notoriously difficult task of running your own email server using MailCow. Purists face an exhausting, constant battle against IP reputation flags and DNS blacklists just to ensure their outbound emails actually reach an inbox. Successful self-hosting requires choosing the correct level of IT burden for your lifestyle, rather than trying to install every tool listed in the repository. Keep in mind that the cloud is merely a marketing term for relying on someone else's computer. Every single service you bring in-house is a vital piece of the internet, successfully reclaimed from corporate control. You have to decide if the temporary convenience of a monthly subscription is truly worth permanently renting your digital life. If this saved you time, hit subscribe. We review tools like this every week, so you're always ahead. Now, if you liked building your own tools, you're going to love our breakdown of Posties, the ultimate self-hosted buffer alternative.